So we get to talk with you again, second time within a year. What's new with the solar part of the Masdar Institute right now?
So as you're probably aware, we just launched the Solar Hub at Masdar. So Masdar Institute and Masdar have come together to bring our assets in Masdar City into one single hub where we have three different components. We have the Masdar Institute Solar Platform, where we're doing concentrated solar and also solar thermal storage research and testing. We have a PV test facility, which we're now upgrading and then relaunching.
But do you have two PV test facilities launching? Because I see some stuff about collaboration with TUV Rhineland and another collaboration with ABB.
It's the same test facility.
Okay.
And TUV and ABB, we just signed the agreement with ABB and TUV to upgrade the test field. So it's one test field, two partners working with us to upgrade it and get it ready for commercial testing.
And is it all outdoor testing or is there also indoor testing?
That particular component of the hub is going to be in outdoor testing.
And can you put this in the broader global context of PV testing? Where does it fit in?
So right now, if you look at the global context of PV, it's getting good uptake globally, you're seeing strong deployments. What we're trying to focus on here at this PV test field is the regional relevance to photovoltaic. So when you look at our conditions, there are very high temperatures, we have high humidity, we have a lot of dust, and so we want partners to come work with Masdar Institute, work with Masdar on seeing how their panels work in our environment. So we're hoping to be the best in looking at how PV is able to produce electricity in this given environment.
Yeah, a lot of people, we think about solar, it works the same everywhere. We think it's, maybe just a matter of light, but I've come to understand that the dust factor here is huge, and that estimates from the National Renewable Energy Laboratory in the US or something don't match the situation here because of the dust. So, so it seems like this is going to help a lot better in projections about solar output in the region. And what else does it enable?
Well, there's actually, you brought up an interesting point. So at Masdar Institute, even before the launch of the hub, we have also led the development of Research Center for Renewable Energy Mapping and Assessment, where we understood from a few years back, even when Masdar was looking to develop SHAMS, which is concentrated solar, we understood that the satellite measurements at that time were not correct. So we put together a program that was also funded partly by Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Environment of Abu Dhabi, the Master Council of Energy, and we partnered with Irene in this as well to get the proper resource assessment and mapping. So we do the solar resource assessment for DNI, DHI, GHI, taking into account the environmental factors. So you get the satellite data and you have models that incorporate any effects you have from humidity or dust or atmospheric turbidity. So we have models which allow us to get the proper resource assessment from that perspective. We have those maps available online, you can look at them. But we also now have the technology deployment in the context so you can see how your panels perform from an efficiency perspective. Even though you came in thinking that you knew the correct resource, now you can test and see how things actually perform in the condition in this environment.
Do you know if that has changed any plans regarding projects or the use of type of panels used in this region? Or?
Well, right now, the good news is in the region we're starting to see a takeoff of solar. So last year across Middle East and North Africa, which is the context in which we're really focused, we saw about 300 megawatts of solar deployed. And that was across about 30 projects. In the coming year, we see a much stronger takeoff. Dubai has been very successful. They're using First Solar thin film panels, right? So that's cadmium telluride. That's certainly one we'll look at. In our facility, we're very supportive of First Solar.
First Solar does well in the heat.
They do well. Thin film technologies does well in the heat. Crystalline silicon and silicon in general is also making strides. There's different technologies now that allow you to see if silicon can also be competitive. So we're not just looking at the thin film because if you're starting to go to rooftops and such, you want smaller footprints, you want high efficiencies. So we got to make sure that we're not just covering what's optimal from a power plant perspective, but also might work well in a rooftop. Now that Dubai, of course, is rolling out net metering. So we're trying to be supportive of the entire ecosystem, rooftop for residential, commercial, industrial, and utility scale.
You have a lot on your plate. Another thing that was launched this year was the Abu Dhabi Solar Challenge.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit about Masdar Institute's connection to the Solar Challenge?
Well, so Masdar in general...
And maybe let's introduce that this is the first ever solar car race in the Middle East.
So solar is something that Masdar Institute strongly support. Petroleum Institute, of course, one of our local partners, they had a car, it was great, they did actually very well. I think
second place,
yeah. So Masdar Institute, our students got involved in the race by going along with the drivers of the cars and being observers, looking at how the performance of the cars were happening as the race went on, and being able to be involved from that perspective. So,
did they assist the local team at all, or no?
Well, as an assistance in the perspective of being with them during the race.
Okay.
So
not in preparing the cars or the...
No, I got it. That was all the credit to the Petroleum Institute. So the local team did a great job in that regard.
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, these are big competitions now, and several of the teams have competed several times in Australia, South America, etc. So I was impressed that a local team came in second. It's a good ranking.
Yes, they did very well. And they had partnered Tokai University was their partner, so in
developing Tokai University was
in developing they had a partner in car development.
Right.
It was a local team built the car.
Yeah, Tokai is great. I think they won in South America recently.
Yeah. So it's been a good partnership.
So yeah, you work on a lot. You work on a lot. You oversee a lot of solar initiatives and projects. Which ones really excite you personally? I mean, I know all of them, but personally, what really gets you going?
Well, I think it's interesting because it lines up with the launch of the Solar Hub. On the component of the hub, the Masdar Institute solar platform, we're now looking at a lot of thermal energy storage, high temperature storage, looking for very cheap local materials and also high performance in the electricity generation components. I'll start with the storage piece. One opportunity is potentially with sand. So sand has a very high heat capacity. We think we can get it up to just under 1,000 degrees, and that could possibly be a thermal energy storage material in the future. So we now start to look at how you might put together an innovative design for a device which would be almost hourglass shape, sand flowing from top to bottom, and through that constriction, you heat up the sand using our 100 kilowatt, eventually 100 kilowatt thermal beam down tower, store the sand at the bottom, and then dispatch it when you need electricity. So and it's all because it's a local resource that has the potential to potentially be high temperature.
Yeah, this is something that will definitely excite Clean Technica readers. So I think, once you've read thousands of articles about solar, about storage, it's new things like this. Yeah, it's things like this that are particularly exciting on the cutting edge of solar and storage together, which is really interesting.
And it's all about the local resource as well. So what do we have here is not available elsewhere in the world that we can then usefully deploy in a solar context. Sand is great. Even waste products from some local industry could be high temperature transfer and thermal storage materials. So we're looking at that to be something that we can take advantage of. In addition, we have another project which is very exciting, also in the CSP mode, thermal energy storage mode. We're calling it CSPON, Concentrated Solar Power on Demand. It's a project which is joint with MIT under our MIT Masdar Institute flagship research program. And so the idea there is rather than having two separate tanks, one with the hot media, one with the cold media, swapping between as you run the power cycle, you have one tank with a platform in the middle that moves, and you have the heat transfer fluid on the top. When the beam of light comes down, it heats up that heat transfer fluid, the storage fluid. When you need the dispatch of the electricity, you pump the fluid to whatever cycle you're going to run, high temperature power generation cycle, run the cycle, and then it comes back to the tank in the bottom until you need it again. And then it flows up to the top of the tank, and this platform goes up and down based on what you need.
And has this been done anywhere else, or is this?
It's based on some intellectual property, or it's based on some research that MIT had done. But unlike Masdar, unlike Abu Dhabi, MIT didn't have anywhere to further develop it in a demonstration context. So now you come to the Masdar Institute solar platform under the Solar Hub, and you've got that ability to translate from the lab into a demonstration, which could potentially help you with commercial manufacturing.
Yeah, so many cutting edge things you're working on. I mean, it seems like it just gets bigger and bigger every time I'm here. And I mean, now you've got this collaboration with ABB, with TUV Rhineland. You've got this cutting edge CSP. Does it feel to you like it's getting more and more recognition, and that's helping to develop these new projects and research?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. So what we're doing now this year, it's a very critical year. This is the year of innovation in the UAE. The National Innovation Strategy is launched. Renewable energy is one core thrust. What we're trying to do is take the research that's been developed, partnerships that have been developed, expand those, make those more visible, and now go from the lab into the demonstrations under the Solar Hub, and then go to help the Abu Dhabi and other partners take it to commercialization. So the recognition's there. the hub will have a more visible presence because we will have a website. You'll be able to come in and track what's happening at Masdar Institute in the solar area, look at our research, look at Masdar's outcomes, and hopefully just keep building this up.
So, well, thank you for what you're doing. It's a great service to society. So, and thank you for spending time with us, Clean Technica readers, I'm sure, and viewers. As we slowly develop our video platform, we'll appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.